I believe, Chong Hong, you want to say some things.
A dedication to our beloved teacher on your 90th birthday, 16th January 2016. Gifted with a passion to serve, you went beyond the walls of the schools where you taught, delighting in your life's work to nurture among your charges a sense of who they are, fostering the Andersonian spirit and, by extension, the Malaysian spirit of multiracial brotherhood. Endowed with a plenitude of humanity, compassion, the centerpiece of your relations, not only with students, but also with parents, the underprivileged, and the neglected. Today, we salute you for all that you are. Thank you for teaching us by example of what the good life is. A few words of wisdom from Rabindranath Tagore. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. Rabindranath Tagore. Sir, we wish you abundant blessings in vibrant good health, happiness, and joy in the years to come. With love and gratitude from your students of the class of 1963-64.
Now, before I forget, the author of those fantastic words, or rather the authoress, Nyok Fu, where are you? Ah! It's her words. From the class of 63-64, Dr. Atherton, obviously. And she has always been so talented in this. Okay. Maybe, Chong, have you presented it to the teacher? Can I ask all of you to be seated for at least 10 minutes? Our birthday boy wishes to address her. Please remember, he's our form teacher. Huh? Chong Hong, we are prefect. Chong Hong, all the noise makers. Okay, here goes. The birthday boy.
I like to call you my sons and daughters because you've been all the time talking about what I did to you, but you didn't say what you did to me. You literally shaped my life. This is the truth. I look back on this class, 1963-64, and in 1964, when we were having the last classroom, you remember? We all had that class, and a wonderful class. You know, you're not just students. You call me Anne. Anne meaning elder brother. And we just learned from one another. This is the truth. Because you're so good, you asked me questions which I could not answer. So I had to go to the library to read up to come back. And I have lots of memories. I remembered once when Nyuk Fu, I was editing the magazine, and I had just wanted to print some articles. Nyuk Fu came to me and said, you know, some of these articles have been copied from other articles. There was plagiarism. So you can see how good she was. Something I didn't know. I didn't know this. And she literally saved my face, because if I printed it, it would have come out. So this is the kind of caliber of students we had. I remember everybody. Is Zan Rokia gone? Yes. Zan Rokia is gone. Zan Rokia used to be a thin little girl with hexagonal glasses. And today I couldn't make out. I said, what's Zan? She said, I'm a grandmother. How on earth do you ever explain these things? Except a mighty God. We can call him what you want. Just now you heard Sivagami. Sivagami here? Yes. Sivagami. Sivagami is recited a Sanskrit prayer. And in that one, he simply said, let us all live together in happiness. Whoever thought that Sohan Singh will marry Sivagami? Sohan Singh had a turban, thin little fella, very shy, and now he marries a very high-class wife. He married a Brahmin girl, and according to the Indian mythology, the Brahmin comes right on top. And not only they did that, they have got two brilliant children. Absolutely brilliant. Two brilliant children. I do not know whether it is Sohan Singh's brain or Sivagami's Brahmin brain. And then I look around, I see Aman Singh. Aman Singh used to be in the class with a white turban always. Always straight, forward person, and so on. Then I lost track. And one day when I went to the lodge, I saw Aman Singh, a big man in the lodge. And today I see him as a saint. And I asked him to bless me, you see. So much. And then I see Pancha. Pancha, of course, always likes to wear a hat. And I know, Pancha, your wife has gone to heaven. Nobody ever passes away, Pancha. People pass on. The Quran says the soul is indestructible. That means the soul goes up. So does the Bhagavad Gita. So does other religious things. Therefore, your wife is safe upstairs. You don't mind if I say there's waiting for you. When the time comes, you'll go up there and join her. Like that, there was one Abu Bakr. I remember one Abu Bakr when we came to Sultan Muhammad Sultan's house for the reunion. Everyone of us had to say what we had been doing all these years. And I remembered the tale of one Abu Bakr and Kamaria. And I knew sooner or later they would go there. And then there was Augustine Paul, a high court judge. And he was not looking too well, and he too has passed on. Similarly, where is Dharma? Here's Dharma. This very pretty girl. You remember how she looked? Long, Really beautiful. Of course, she's still beautiful. And then came Idit. Idit, one chick, you remember? And when I was in England, she came all the way to Kensington to look me up. And I saw Idit too. The last time I met them was in the airport. You remember? You were in the airport with Idit, both of you? They were in the airport, and I met them there. And here too, Idit has passed on. Passing on is just a way of life. We have to accept it. Because the good Lord, you can call him what you want. Call him Allah, call him Kuan Yin, call him Buddha, call him Mariamman, call him what you may. He has charted all our lives. We must accept this without the slightest doubt. And then when I look around, I see Helilia. Where's Helilia? That's the High Court Appeals Court judge. She was my wife's student in the convent. And then she came to Anderson School. Every time I said Helilia, she'll stand up clicking her shoes. She wore a special type of shoes, huh? She wore a special type of shoes. And every time she got up, she used to click her shoes, you know. Helilia, so nervous, very polite, because she came from a remarkable parents, Chegu Yusuf and his wife. Chegu Yusuf used to walk in such a way as though he'll upset the angels below the earth. And he used to speak so softly despite his age. Remarkable parents she had. I also had an elder sister called Yohani. She went all over the world. Now I think she's in Kuala Lumpur. Huh? Then, of course, you heard Ghazali booming with his voice. Ghazali. Ah, here he is. Here he is. He is the son of a former state secretary of Para, Dato Yusuf, and a beautiful mother called Datin Miriam. Datin Miriam. These two beautiful people. I used to go to their house very often, as I told you. I just happened to be their teacher, but also I was part of them. I used to go to their house. And one day, the mother told me, Ghazali, I think, is falling in love. And then I asked, with whom? With one girl who lives in Greentown. I said, what girl is this? And then she said, Hatia. But she said, don't tell anybody. So I kept it a secret. And in one of the games we played, he used to take a flower, Ghazali. He'll take one petal out and says, she loves me. He'll pull another petal and say, she loves me not. And he'll manipulate the flower in such a way and he'll manipulate the flower in such a way, the last petal will be, she loves me. And of course, where is Hatia? Hatia, stand up, Hatia, let's have a look at you. She was a pretty little girl. She lived in the corner of that green town, in that house there, because I used to go to all their houses, because they were my children. And I was literally sent by God to look after these children. I always felt to be a teacher is to be given a trust. Somebody brings a child and says, this is my child. I leave this child in your trust. And how on earth can we neglect? So they became my friends. I learned from them. They shaped my life, believe me. And then as time goes on, there were other people, so many of them. Swiki was my monitor in the class. And a very happy monitor. He got on with everybody. I must say a word about Chongong. Chongong, look up, Chongong. Look up, boy. Look up. Chongong was school captain. He was a very, very wonderful fellow, out of this world. And he used to walk around the school, picking little pieces of paper and put in his pocket. And then go and put into the dustbin. The other day I met him in Casuarina. And I said, Chongong, you remember you used to pick little pieces of paper? He said, yes, I pick them up now also. And he produced trash from his pocket. A wonderful fellow. He used to go to the Buddhist temple, shave his head, and become a monk. And I'll go to see this monk to ask for his blessings. And imagine a student of mine. His life has gone round, just like anybody else's life. He's gone round, and today he's now professor of English in Shanghai. Coming back to Nuc Phu, I know her family from Batu Gajah. I know her mother, I know her father, and of course, that remarkable man, Chin Yun Tet. Chin Yun Tet? Chin Tet, who was a wonderful dental surgeon. He was a personal dental surgeon to Allah Yarham, Sultan Azlan Shah. He had the highest respect for him, and also his very nice wife whom I've met. And then looking around, there's Kamaruddin, whom I can never forget, and of course, what's her name? I forget your name, sorry. Huh? Yeah, Sharma. Yes, of course. And then I'm going around, all these people are such wonderful people. How can I ever forget you? And then there is Sultan Muhammad. I've kept to the last. I will talk about him. Oh, Periyasamy. Periyasamy is here, and he is a great lawyer. He's married to a doctor. And Periyasamy, of course, made a great impact on that class. And looking around, there's one more person and Shanmugam. Shanmugam, I'd known him for a long time. He used to live on the opposite the hospital there. And he has taken my children, Malini. Saw Malini, Shanmugam? Look at Malini. Taken these children by their hands all over the place. Shanmugam married an old girl of mine called Mangaya Karasi. Mangaya Karasi in Tamil means the queen of all beautiful women. That's the girl Shanmugam married. They are lovely children. He taught in that Tunku Jaffa school. What school is that? Tunku Jaffa's? Tunku Jaffa school. And of course, his wife too has passed on. That's okay. That is only God's will, you see. Then, of course, coming back to Ghazali, I forgot. He got a PhD from an American university. What university? Nottingham University. So he's now actually Dr. Dato Ghazali. Right, huh? And then looking around some more, and that's, of course, Hongguan. How can I ever forget Hongguan? Hongguan is Chonghong's elder brother, a kind of a guardian, you see. Like that, this class was Kulwant Singh. Then there was Kulwant Singh from Penang. He was Pal Singh. And then Pal Singh, of course, university, isn't it? University Science Malaysia. I remembered once I went to one of my old boys' convocation. I was late, so the Jaga wouldn't let me. Auntie too. And then came Paul Singh from somewhere and took me in and gave me a VIP seat. You say these blessings. And I remember Paul Singh, you are joined here. Yes. Am I right? Yes, he's joined here. He'll come out of the socket. And Paul Singh will sit there and slowly put it back. Do you still do that? Do you still do that? No more. You see, they were not just my students, They were also part of me, So much part of me. They're not just students. I'm blessed. Very much blessed. Because God made me a teacher. When I came out of university, I wanted to become a labor officer. Because my friend told me I'll become commissioner of labor in 7 years. But my mother said, nothing doing. You better become a teacher. Because you can teach children. You can shape their lives. They'll become leaders. So I went back 1 more year to do my diploma in education. Then it's all history. How the first economics classes were started at Anderson School. And people came from all over the country. Tunku Razali, Tunku Malik, Tunku Abdul Rahman's brother's son. And then Radin Sonano, Tun Ahmad Sarji, Professor Salvaratnam. So many people all came there because of the economics classes. I have two people here I must mention. Dato Muhammad. Dato Muhammad is a very important radiologist. At that time, I had a lot of power. The headmasters used to let me do what I want. So I'll walk around the school with a cane. And one day when I was walking, I saw a father bringing a sweet little boy and said, I want this boy to study in Anderson School. I wasn't quite sure. So I went upstairs and asked Dr. Lewis, wasn't it? Ogle. Martin Ogle, the nice little boy, shall we take him? Ogle said, do what you like. So I got him admitted. He studied there. And the father was very happy. Then suddenly from out of the blues, our friend gets an offer from the Malay College. So he was a little bit mixed up. The father said, nothing doing. You stay in Anderson School. So, and today, he has grown up. He's a big radiologist in Fatima Hospital. He's married to Noraini. He's got two lovely children, Rania and Aris. Rania and Aris. And they've got a beautiful house, and he is a very human doctor. Very, very human doctor. I mustn't forget the president of the Andersonians Club, Dato Zabidi Latif. Stand up, let them see you. Look. My life has been very intricately involved with him, and I'm very proud that he is now the president of the Andersonians Club. One day, I was with him at a meeting, and the Metropolitan of the state was there. And while he was talking, he came up there, and he said, this is my Chegu. He showed me. And the Metropolitan said, he is my headmaster. Do you remember? That's how it all works out. It's an amazing world, And there was Helilia. Who?
We got Jacqueline also. Chong's sister is here.
Oh, yes, Jacqueline is here.
Yes.
I'm talking of Helilia. Appeals court judge.
Yes.
And I used to eagerly read all her judgments. When you became big shots, I always felt, you are me. You become a judge, I feel like a judge. You become a tune like Tun Ahmad Saji, I feel like a tune. And Dato, Tunku Razali used to read his budget speech. I'll sit next to the TV and carefully listen to him. And he'll ring me up after that and think, Chegu, what do you think? He always calls me Chegu. Chegu, what do you think? It's like that, This is the kind of life which is very, very difficult to explain. And then, now finally come to my friend, Sultan. Muhammad, doctor, professor, Sultan. You know what he is like. So endearing, And when I was going to England in 1964, I remembered I didn't want to go on this scholarship because she was expecting a baby. And she said, you had so many scholarships offered, you did not take them. I didn't take them for various reasons. I was teaching, I was happy. I didn't think of going to somewhere to do a higher degree. That was not necessary because my children have taught me enough economics. I knew so many times more economics, than I knew when I came out of the university because of these remarkable students, remarkable students. But finally she said, I have got to go because this is your last chance because you'll be 40 years old. So this class gave me a farewell party in the upstairs of Raman restaurant. Do you remember?
Yes.
On the upstairs of Raman restaurant. And they presented to me a briefcase which they bought from Jamuna Das. And I carried this briefcase throughout my stay in England. I went to London School of Economics, my first love. I spent a lot of time there, and this briefcase was always there. And I always remembered you wonderful people who gave me a briefcase like which I've never possessed before. And it's still with me. When I was headmaster and all over the place, this briefcase was there. Now it's resting in the house. So you see, and then I told this group, my wife Puvai is expecting a baby. Would you all look after the baby? And Muhammad Sultan and all said, we'll look after auntie and the baby. And when the baby was born, oddly enough, before her telegram came, one of the telegrams came from you, saying a baby boy has been born. Can you see the closeness of all these things, man? How do these things happen? Except for a great God, Jacqueline, how do these things happen? Except for a great God above, who has shaped everything, you know. I have no more fear in my life. Please do remember. I am now simplified my life completely. I have no fear because I feel God holds my hand and walks. I walk with Him. And of course, all of you know, the little miracles happen in our lives. You think back and see. But I can't go around and say, Hallelujah, I had a miracle. And poor Hallelujah will say, I think this man is getting a bit cuckoo. So you see, these miracles happen. There's no getting away from this. And we must believe in these miracles. And this class is special to me, you know that. Because they looked after Auntie when she was expecting a baby. Now, Sultan's beloved wife, Farida. Farida will cook in Kuala Lumpur, all kinds of things, and send it to the driver to her house. And we have a meal cooked by Farida, who is a marvelous chef. Do these things happen? I'm just asking you. How do these things happen? All upstairs. And Kian Singh is here. Where is Kian Singh? Kian Singh is here. He writes me a pathetic letter that he has got old. He's got old. I can't imagine Kian Singh getting old. He used to climb on top of the roof and repair roofs for other people. And then today, he made it a point to come to attend this function. I can go on talking and talking and talking. This because I am an old schoolmaster. You have overwhelmed me completely. All that I ask is, please do pray for us. Ask God in whatever way you know, please pray for us that our passage for the rest of our lives will be peaceful until the order comes from upstairs. And we will go. So it's like that. Malini is a big person now. She's professor. But she used to be a little girl, and you all used to catch her hand and Nalina's hand and take her all over the place. And her husband is here, Dr. Pankaj Patel, who is a big director of healthcare in the United States, and 40,000 people work under him. How do you explain all this? Khalil Gibran said, you remember? Khalil Gibran said, the children are on loan to you. Enjoy them. Do what you want with them, but do not force your thoughts on them. I tried to get Malini to do English because she's such a good English student. She said no, she went and did law, medicine. The other one did medicine, and we told our son, don't do medicine, go and do engineering. He did medicine too. And now he's happy up there. So you see, everything is in his hands. We must accept this. You are true Malaysians. Anderson School boys shaped the first Malaya in this country after independence. I have no doubt in my mind at all. The secretary to Tunku Abdul Rahman was an old boy of mine called Khair. And he used to tell me how the Tunku thought. And I've had a great pleasure of meeting Tunku because of this wonderful boy. And they shaped the first Malaya. But as time went on, unfortunately, we are struck by two illnesses. One is called greed, tamak. The other one is an exalted ego. Until and unless we know how to control our ego and cut our greed. What do you want 7 cars in the house? And I ask him, what do you do? I drive 1 car one day. Yesterday, you know, some poor chap had an accident with a Lamborghini. The other day, somebody in Saramban had a big accident with a Porsche. You know, it makes me sad because when you hit a fella, a car is like a gun, you know. You hit a fella, you finish the family. Doesn't matter whose fault, but we can avoid all these things. I wish to thank you all once again for this most remarkable reunion, something which I would not forget. In response, we like to present you with a very token of our love, endearment, love, and everything. I hope you will accept them. Let's go to Lishmi. Kadi lo chirinjo na na barama. Thank you. Kondar sonna kadi lo chirinjo. She'll come back now. So we brought a little thing which is a sign of endearment between you and us. You are very precious to us, and I am sure we'll go on with all your blessings. We will walk the path. We'll complete the rest of our journey in peace and harmony and everything. Pray for us and bless us always. Chongong, what are you going to say?
I want to stand up.
Why do you want to stand up?
From a very, very special person and a very, very special lady to all of us.
My sons and daughters, I want to tell you this. In Indian culture, which goes back to millions of years, one of the highest honor you can pay a person is by wrapping him with a golden shawl. If you don't wrap him with a golden shawl, at least you can put a shawl around his neck. If you look at Thailand, Burma, Indonesia, they do that. This is a sign of endearment, a thing that you belong to me and I belong to you, and our love will never fade. So please do humbly accept what we have brought as part of our love to you. Thank you. And this is, we're going to put it on Muhammad Sultan and Farida. Come, Farida.
Yeah. Farida?
Normally they put it on one person.
Apa itu?